And good evening, and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. Special edition tonight here Tuesday night. Reason we're here tonight is because of last night's Independence Day celebration and affairs, and I didn't want the show to interrupt your cookout or your fireworks activities or whatever it is you had planned for yesterday. So I decided that I'll leave, rather than do it in Grove City as I did last week's episode, or I did Sports Corner last week. What we're going to do is I decided to have a doubleheader tonight, and that doubleheader is we're going to have The Way I See It on right now, and then at 8:30 we're going to have Sports Corner. So you get a doubleheader of me tonight, and I got to tell you, it's great to be here. I hope everybody had a very safe Independence Day coming up. Also, we've eliminated the live call-in phone number. I never received any calls. I've been doing it for months now. So if you have any comments, feel free to put them on the comments section here. And as you see on the ticket tape, all shows are live on YouTube and on Facebook. So you can catch my shows every Monday night, usually other than perhaps something like Independence Day. You can catch it at 7 p.m. live on YouTube and on Facebook as well. We have a lot to talk about tonight. And one thing I did want to talk about tonight is our main topics, which we'll talk later. And I have Ralph's Rant, which is something brand new that I have decided to start on this program. And I also have The Blast, The Bonehead, and The Life Story, and something to think about. So we have a lot of those to do, and plus some topics. So we have a busy hour here tonight. We're here till 8 o'clock. Your comments are welcome. Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody. Get them here for The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. All right, our main topics tonight are going to be this. Tips everywhere. Later on, we're going to talk about tips. Who should get a tip and who shouldn't? Do you tip everybody or do you tip just somebody? All right? Do you not tip at all? I mean, I know people who don't even tip at all because they feel that they shouldn't have to tip, or they can't afford to tip, or they don't want to tip. It's either one or the other. So basically, that can happen that way. All right? So what I'm saying to you is, don't forget to understand the fact I'm not going after anybody who doesn't tip. And I'm not going after anybody who tips little. I'm not going after anybody who only tips certain people. What I want to know from you tonight, here on The Way I See It, is do you tip, and do you tip everybody, or do you just tip certain somebody? All right, that's what I want to know tonight. Your comments are welcome in the comments section as always. And I know I've been forgetting about this lately, but one of our great segments here on The Way I See It is the Chinese wisdom. And we haven't done that for a while, and it's been a while since we've done Chinese wisdom. So we're going to get that in here tonight, as we are right now. So here we are. All right. Yes, indeed. Chinese wisdom. All right. Perhaps you've been focusing too much on spending. Wow. Is that what you do? Well, Chinese wisdom says perhaps that could be you. All right. You spend too much on spending. All right. So anyway, I'm going to start my rant off tonight. And, I have some loyal watchers of the program, and I've been told by a few of them over the past few years that I've had this show on. And recently, one of my more loyal watchers has said to me not too long ago that I should stop shouting on here. All right. Well, yeah, I can deal with that. I can, and maybe perhaps it might just get me some more viewers who don't want to see me shout and scream and get mad. Okay. But, I'm going to talk tonight on my rant, and this is Ralph's Rant, okay? And Ralph's Rant goes like this, okay? And that is, I'm going to talk about former City Police Chief Scott Schubert. Scott Schubert, as you well know, was our city police chief here in the city of Pittsburgh, and he has decided to step down. He's going to retire. He's been in the administration for 29 years. Recently, Mayor Gainey had a committee who reported back to him, and these committees are reporting back to him on numerous things, such as the Public Works Department. As you can see, he's working on getting that straightened out. He also is having the police, the housing authority of the city of Pittsburgh. I am dying to see what that comes about. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There's going to be a big uproar in this town, and I'm going to start it if Castor Binion is not fired. If there's a report from a committee that indicates that Castor Binion is not fired, you better doggone believe that I will be the first person to march down to Grant Street and want to know why. I want to know why he shouldn't be fired. Okay? And let me ask you this question. Do you live in a housing property? Okay? Do you live in a housing property? If you do, I want to hear from you tonight. Do you think Castor Binion should be fired? Do you think you live good enough that Castor Binion doesn't need to be fired? You know what? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think he needs to be fired. I've explained on many of my shows, if any of you have watched them, and if you're a first-time watcher tonight of the show, then what you need to know is that Castor Binion is the CEO of the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh. But before we talk more about that, the reason why Police Chief Scott Schubert has stepped away is because of his. He was the police chief for 5 years since 2017. He's gone up the ranks of the Pittsburgh Police Department, and he's been around a long time. 29 years is a long time. He's a nice man. I know some police officers in the city police force that have said he's a nice man. He's a great guy. Okay, super duper. You know what I mean? But there was bad morale in the city police force, and this committee came back to Mayor Ed Gainey and said, you need to get rid of, or you need to do something with Scott Schubert. They recommended that the chief be replaced. Okay? My next question to you, as well as this here as well, I have a lot of questions I'm posing to you tonight, because I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts are. All right? The comment section is wide open tonight here on The Way I See It, special Tuesday night edition because of Independence Day. I decided to move it to tonight, and you're going to get a doubleheader tonight. All right, and of course I got to take a half-hour break to get Sports Corner together because I got some breaking news about the Penguins tonight, and I've got some other news as well. So some very interesting news you're going to want to hear as well. But Scott Schubert was a reasonable chief in my eyes. Okay, I didn't see it there. There were a lot of things that perhaps didn't have to go on that did. I know he worked under Mayor Peduto, and Mayor Peduto had certain things that he had the objective for the police chief to do. One of them was to stop handing out tickets. City cops were not able to hand out tickets or pull drivers over anymore because they didn't have a ticket book with them. Okay, parking tickets were not to be given out unless it was certain rules that Scott Schubert implemented in this police department that are rather foolish in my eyes. Everything had to go through 911. I could walk into the police department tomorrow and I could tell them that I was just robbed. And you know what they would tell me to do? Call 911. Okay? That's how this was. That has to stop. I've been a victim of this too many times. That has to stop. You see a Pittsburgh policeman driving up the street and you flag him down and you say, hey, look, I got a problem. Okay? He's going to tell you to call 911. All right? I don't know who made this policy, but it has to go. The Pittsburgh Police Department, in my eyes, when you take a look at what I'm telling you, that is laziness. And I have been talking about laziness, scared. I've been talking about nothing. And there's more and more to this nothing that meets the eye here. All right? Last week, I had Steve Spates on, a buddy of mine from Texas, or he lives in Texas now. He's originally from here. He and I, back in the day, used to team up together and do a radio show. We were DJs at WPLW AM 1590 back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I've known Steve for a long time. So now he is living in Texas, and he was telling me about something that had happened at a prior job of his up there. And he was living in Niagara Falls, New York. Okay. And it boils down to nothing. Nobody wants to do anything for nothing. So did Scott Schubert. Scott Schubert, I think, either nothing and lazy, or Bill Peduto tied his hands, told him, you have to do it this way. This is what we need to do. This is how we got to do it, and so on and so forth, okay? Plus the public safety director, Wendell Histrick. I watched city council meetings where Darlene Harris was fighting with him over the police over in Zone 1. Fighting with him about the retirees, fighting with him about everything, because I heard he really didn't do much of his job either. So it all boils down to a couple different things, but Scott Schubert, being the police chief, took the rap. You know what, Scott? Good luck. Whatever it is you're doing, you're going to go work for the FBI down in Clarksburg, West Virginia, or Charleston, or wherever it is you're going to do in West Virginia. Good luck to you, my friend, and I hope you do okay for yourself. And I hope that right now, the fill-in chief right now is Tom Stangricki, and I hope he gets it. I hope they don't waste their time and money going out looking across the country for a police chief. Stangricki's been in the department for many years. He's a Pittsburgh guy. He's been here for a long time, and he's been in the department for a long time. So I think Stangricki should get it, or somebody a little more qualified, but somebody who can make their own change without interference. Okay? Let the police chief make his own change. All right? And that's my rant for tonight about Police Chief Scott Schubert. All right, next we have our blast section. All right, listen to this about the blast tonight. Blast tonight's brought to you by DJ Fun. DJ Fun is a party special event DJ. Call him today, 412-545-4317. You have a party coming up, or you have some kind of special event, give him a call today. Over 10 years of experience in doing DJ work. Don't call these guys who've been around for 6 months and go on and on and on about how they're so great and they charge all this money and they've only been doing it for 6 months. You don't want to get involved in that. Okay, you really don't. You don't. Call DJ Fun today. He's a good qualified DJ that will do the job for you properly and do it right. All right, my blast today. I was in Grove City this week, and I just came back today. All right, so my wife and I, we decide we're going to eat at Haas's Steakhouse, and I'm blasting the manager, Kyle, tonight because of his ignorant attitude with us when I asked him to go get a guest inside the restaurant who decided to park his car so close to mine that my wife could not even get in the car, and to open up the door, and I have to open the door all the way up so I can get in my wheelchair, and I had my handicap placard on. I was parked in a handicap spot. Okay, Kyle comes out, and my wife says to him, well, what is your name? And he goes, none of your business. Well, you know what? I'm blasting you tonight for your ignorant attitude and the way you conducted yourself, okay? And you're real lucky that I wasn't already sitting in my Jeep, because if I was in my wheelchair and you would have came out and spoke to my wife like you did, I said you would have had to deal with me. Okay? Because I'm not going to put up with this anymore, with this ignorance out here in society today. It's getting a little out of control, but this was unacceptable, and I'm blasting you tonight, Kyle, at the Hosses in Grove City, and I hope there's some people listening here that know Kyle. You tell him I said the next time he gets derogatory with my wife, he deals with me, and that's the way I see it tonight. Next, the guy who parked close to my vehicle. You know what? How can you do that? Why would you even consider parking so close that I couldn't get my door open? I couldn't even get, you know what? I have my little niece, my youngest niece. She's 12 years old, and she's probably about maybe 4 foot tall. She couldn't even get in there. And then I couldn't even get into the door because you couldn't open it because you were parked so close to my vehicle. What would condone you to even do that? Tell me something, sir. Tell me something, mister. And then you laughed about it. You went, oh, I'm sorry. And then you start laughing. You know, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. All right? And I'm blasting you for that tonight. And that's the way I see it. Next. The ignorant, rude people everywhere. You know what? It's not just here in Pittsburgh. It's everywhere. And you know, I went to Grove City. I went to Erie. I normally don't really have to deal with ignorant people there. Never have a problem. But it turns out that, you know, there were some ignorant, rude people. And now I've come to the conclusion that it's everywhere now. Okay? I don't know what's going on with people. I don't know what's going on in people's heads, brains, minds. I have no clue. All I know is that everybody's getting ignorant and rude, and it's unacceptable. And you shouldn't continue to do it, because I find that very, very appalling that you would even do something like that at all. Yeah, why would you want to even be so rude and so ignorant? What is going on with society today? Nobody wants to talk to nobody. Nobody wants to work nothing out with nobody. All we want to do is shoot, and all we want to do is fight, and all we want to do is get ignorant with people. Nobody wants to work nothing out. Nobody cares about anybody. It's getting out of control. But ignorant people tonight, that's the way I see it with you. Next, security at the Grove City Outlet Mall. All right? I didn't know how late the mall was staying open. So this security guard's walking by him. He's a little short little guy. He walks hunchback and everything else. Susie, it's great to see you tonight here in the comments section. I hate that some of those people, kindness is free, so sprinkle it everywhere. Yes, indeed. That is right. And you can join Susie on the comments section. Your comments are welcome tonight here on The Way I See It. So I asked the security guard, and he's wearing a mask. He's a little short little guy. And he walks right past me, and he's all hunched over like the hunchback of Notre Dame. And he says to me, I says to him, excuse me, can you tell me what time the mall closes? Not one word. Not one word. Just moseyed on past me. Then I'm sitting there going, well, wait a minute. How am I supposed to know when the mall closes when there's not even those signs up anywhere that says the mall closes at this time? These stores close at this time. There's nothing that posts that. So how am I supposed to know? So, of course, I had to get on my phone and I had to get online to find out. But I should not have had to do that, because I simply asked that security guard. He works for Allied Universal. Okay? I guess it's the Grove City site. So I know about this stuff because I worked in security. So if anybody is a supervisor for Allied Universal, how about getting on my show here tonight? I have to talk to you in regards to that guy at Grove City at the outlet mall. I thought that was rude and ignorant. He didn't even say a word. I mean, I don't care if he even lied to me. If he even said, well, it closed at 5 o'clock just to get me off your back. I'm used to that too. Okay? But he didn't say a word. He just walked right by me. I mean, I'm like, wow. And that tonight is the way I see it in the blast department tonight, which I find, okay, next, which I find very appalling, some of these people. All right, next, the Bonehead. Tonight's Bonehead's brought to you by Robin Campbell Farmers Insurance. 412-366-3399 is the number to call if for your insurance needs, fire, rental, any kind of insurance. Let me say this to you, and I know this because I've seen it in some cases. I was never involved in it. You need to get renter's insurance. And the reason I say renter's insurance is because you don't know, and I don't care if you live in a building for an agency or if you live somewhere and the landlord says, oh, I got you covered. No, do not believe it. Go get yourself some renter's insurance and call Robin today. Car insurance, auto, home, life, anything you need. Robin is the best. Robin Campbell Insurance, 412-366-3399. He's an agent with Farmers. And I got to tell you what, he'll come to your house. He'll give you a cell phone number. He'll do whatever it takes to get you the insurance you need at the right price that you can afford. All right, he's my agent. He can be yours too. All right, next is our Bonehead segment. Listen to this, all right? The Consorico Company, who is a food service company, all right, one of its largest food companies is in Chile. Back in May, this company paid a man 286 times more than his original pay. More than his original pay. Who was the bonehead that did that? 286 times his pay. All right. So then the guy disappears. He takes his money and he leaves. I would do the same thing as well. I mean, I got to tell you, man, this guy, I don't know. But that was a boneheaded move by that company, giving him 286 times his pay. That's crazy. Next, the people who caused a fight on the Carnival Cruise Line. All right, ship over a threesome. All right, now.
Oh no!
Over a threesome. Okay, I know a lot of you out there may know what I'm talking about, and you may not. Okay, a threesome is when there's maybe a boyfriend and a girlfriend who decide they want to have a male or a female person come in, and they have a three-way sex act. Okay, all right. People do that. All right, that's what people do. Some people do. All right, and then there are folks who or just casual friends and might decide to have a threesome. All right, that is what that is. Well, there was a big fight, and that's why I say this boneheaded move here on a Carnival cruise ship over a threesome sex thing. How do you like that? That's your bonehead for the night, and that's the way I see it. All right, next. Somebody said on here that's fun. I wouldn't know. I would, to be frankly honest with you, in my lifetime, I've never been involved in one, so I don't know. But anyway, what if? And I want to give you something to think about tonight. What if somebody did what happened to me? Okay, and that is, what would happen if someone decided to park their car and so close to yours that you couldn't get in it, and then you had to go back into the establishment of where they parked your car or the apartment or wherever and go find these people, and then you end up having to try to find these people, and what happens with that? Okay, they come out and they start laughing. They think it's funny. They think it's a joke. What if it happened to you? And I want to give you that to think about tonight. And I want you to tell me if you can tonight and if you're watching. Okay? What does that think about this? Take a look in the mirror and think about what I just said. If someone did what they did to me, they do to you. What would happen? What would you do? How would you think? What if they laughed at you just like they laughed at me? That guy thought it was funny. I didn't find it very amusing. Okay? All right. So let me know what your thoughts are on that tonight as well. Give you something to think about tonight. All right. My life story. All right. I had a really good trip. My wife and I, we decided to have what we call a honeymoon. We went to Grove City. Now, I want to explain something to you. I'm not cheap, but I'm not somebody who's going to spend $1 million. And we wanted to stay for 6 days or a little more than that. Okay, so in order to do this, we had to stay at a Grove City hotel and commute to Erie and drive to Erie from there. So because the Erie hotels, and I even went through, and I got to tell you, I even went through Expedia and a couple of these other things, and they couldn't find me rates as cheap as what I got here. And this was a good hotel. It's called the Best Western Grove City Inn. And I got to tell you what, the personality of the desk clerks, they'll go out of your way to do something for you, not like we have today. Okay, all right. It says these things people don't think. General kindness is missing in today's world. That's in our comments section tonight. Yes, okay. That is what is missing, kindness. Exactly. All right. But there were kind people, nice people at the Grove City. All right. It's called the Best Western Grove City Inn. It's an older hotel, but it's a clean hotel. And a lot of people, stay there because of the hospitality. I spoke to a guy from Canada who was staying there. He says, I've been staying here for 17 years. And he says, I love it here. He says, the hospitality's great and everything. They have a pool, okay? It's a very nice place to stay. So my recommendation is for you to stay there. But I also recommend to you, don't just go on the first deal you see. And that's one of the reasons why my wife and I haven't been back to Ocean City, Maryland. Their prices are so high. They want $300 to $400 to even $500-$600 a night for a room at one of these hotels. And that's insane. All right, that is really, really insane. All right, okay. So what I'm saying to you is that this kind of stuff, in order to combat this, you need to take a look at this. And I know Ocean City's a great place, okay, but I don't like to go just for 1 or 2 days or whatever. And you know what's interesting? Sometimes, and I'm going to come out and admit, due to my health situation, there's days I just want to hang out in my hotel room and don't want to be bothered. Okay? So in order for me to enjoy what I want, I need to have 4, 5, 6 days in order to enjoy, in case I get one of those days when I might, or even 2. I mean, it rained last night. I was in pain. I was sore. I was stiff. It was crazy. Okay? The whole week I had no issues until last night because it rained. It poured, thunderstorm, everything up in Grove City. All right? So that's what happens with me. So what I'm saying to you tonight is that please take a look at what you're going to spend before you go somewhere and you decide, oh yeah, I'd love to go to Erie, but maybe you want to stay there 3 or 4 more days. But you can't because you can't afford it. Okay? Over $200, $300 a night in some of these places. That's sickening. So we went to Grove City and we got the best of both worlds here. Best of both of a bunch of worlds. Okay? We got to go to the Grove City Outlet Mall. And I'm going to tell you what, you will not believe the deals I got there. All right? It is one phenomenal place for deals. Okay? My wife went into Coach and got a watch that normally costs $80 for $17. Okay? That's the type of deep discounts they have at the Grove City Outlet Mall. Now, I don't know about Tanger. I've never been to Tanger. But what I'm saying is if you really want to shop there, okay, I would go there. It's beautiful. But you can have the best of both worlds if you do it this way. And the way I'm telling you is stay at the Best Western in Grove City. Drive to Erie. All right, I drove to Erie for 2 days. One day we did the state park, we did Sarah's Hot Dog, and we did some other things there. Then I drove back. It's only not even a 40-minute drive from Grove City to Erie. You can get there in, I don't know, about 40 minutes, maybe an hour. All right, depends on how fast you drive. All right, and believe me, there were a lot of slow pokes out again, which of course doesn't surprise me. Because you got the news media on here going on and on and on about how you need to slow down because of gas prices. No, maybe we need to quit worrying about Ukraine and make the gas prices go down. That's what we need to start doing, okay? But anyway, getting back to this, all right, that is my suggestion to you today if you're going to travel. Because we had a blast with this. And then when we were done with Erie, we stayed in Grove City. We did the Outlet Mall, went to look at the university, did some riding around town, but we discovered something very interesting. It was called the Keystone Safari. And if you saw my Facebook page, I posted a whole bunch of stuff from the safari. And it's great. You go out there, you can do a walkthrough, and you can feed the animals. And they have zebras, camels, all kinds of animals, deer. The deer walk right up to you, and you can feed them. They walk right up to you, and you can feed them. Okay, it's a beautiful thing. Horses, they have all kinds, zebras, Alamo. They have all kinds of, different types of animals. And it's great. And you can do the drive-through. We stay in your vehicle like my wife and I did. And we bought a bucket of food that they give you, or, they'll give you by the bucket. And, you drive through this path, you go up, it's a drive-through, and you just stay in your vehicle and you hand these animals food. And some of them will come right up to you. Some of them will block your car. You have to go around. They got people there that'll handle the animals if they get a little out of control. But I tell you what, it's a beautiful place, and you need to go there. And it's beautiful. It's called Keystone Safari. We had a good time on our trip, and that's my life story for tonight. But it was one great trip that we had. We had a lot of fun, and like I said, we stayed in Grove City, went to Erie, drove to Erie twice, 2 days, and we planned it out. We said we're going to go 2 days, and we're going to do one part of Erie one day, which is the park, the state park, Waldameer, and then Sarah's Hot Dog, which is near the state park. You got to go get a Sarah's Hot Dog if you go to Erie. And then we went to this beach place there called Beach Pro, bought some souvenirs, and then we left. We came back the next day and did the Bayfront. We went down. We went up the Bicentennial Tower. I took pictures from up there. They're all over my Facebook page, or at least they were. If you saw some of them. And we just had a great time. Erie's one of our second cities. The only reason I don't like living there all the time is the winter weather. And we're looking at next summer maybe going up there and spending an entire summer up there. We're looking for a place up there so we can spend the summer up there and come back here in the wintertime, because the winters up there are just horrible. I mean, sometimes they get 3-4 feet of snow, and it's terrible up there. It's really bad. So what I'm saying to you is that, Erie is not a bad place. They get a bad rap a lot. I know I've bad rapped their airport, which I think is horrible. I've already had arguments online with the director who said to me that, well, I don't have that much to work with. I said, well, why is it that Arnold Palmer's airport's got Spirit flights that go to Florida and, different places? And you mean to tell me you can't even get Spirit or anybody in here? You have these limited flights that go to Erie, and that's it? I mean, it's sad. It really is. All right, next. We're going to get started with our topics for tonight, but don't forget our main topic, which we're going to talk about later after we get through some of these other ones. General Motors. General Motors has built a 95,000 feet, has built 95,000 cars that it can't sell. 95,000 cars they built that they can't sell. All right, it's either chips or it's some kind of a problem, but they can't sell these 95,000 cars, and they overbuilt them or whatever. So, all right, that's the way I see it tonight about that. Next, here we go. The hot dog eating champion, Joey Chestnut. Joey Chestnut's a crazy guy, but I got to tell you what, I got to give him, this tonight. He won another hot dog eating contest. Nathan's every 4th of July on Coney Island. Nathan's does a hot dog eating contest. It's aired on ESPN or whatever sometimes. And he won again yesterday, and he had a broken leg or something. He had surgery on his thigh muscle or something. And he was walking with crutches. And even that couldn't stop him. But he didn't break his record. See, his record is 76 hot dogs, and he would have to eat 77 to break his own record. Well, he didn't do that yesterday. He only ate 63 hot dogs, but he still won. The closest the other guy came to him was 43. All right, now next, Eric Booker won the Lemonade Chug contest, where I guess you chug pitchers of lemonade. This guy is the matzo ball soup eating he's the matzo ball soup eating champion. He eats the most matzo ball soups. Joey Chestnut, and he's a crazy guy. I watched him last year with the hot dog eating contest. He was in New Orleans the week before that, they said, at a pizza eating contest. These guys are crazy. That's how they make their living. But congratulations to Eric Booker and Joey Chestnut for winning their things tonight. And that's the way I see it tonight about that. Social Security benefits will rise 11% in 2023. The COLA raise, it's called cost of living adjustment, okay? So every year, because Barack Obama came up with this COLA raise for all people on Social Security or Social Security Disability, SSI, and every year you get a raise. Well, this past year we got the largest raise in the history of Social Security. Well, this year it's going to break the record even more, because we're going to be making 11% of what we make it in a form of a raise. Okay, so it's going to be 11% 2023. All right, reports out say that the U.S. would only last a week if there was a war against China. Yeah, you know what? This really saddens me a bit, and the reason why I'm sad about this is because I'm not real happy because we're going to go to war. They're talking about us going. The United States is talking about going to war against China for Taiwan, because Taiwan, China wants to invade Taiwan. They want to take over Taiwan. All right. So therefore, rather than try to work something out, negotiable or whatever, I don't know, we're going to wind up going up against China. Now, if anybody understands the history of the United States going up against China, take a look at the Korean War, because China helped the North Koreans beat us and the South Koreans. Now, we tied in that war. We didn't exactly lose that war. All right, but I watched a lot of history, documentaries, things about that Korean War, and I was told, and from what I saw, it was gruesome. Okay, and I'm going to tell you this right now: for every 10 guys we have, I would say the Chinese probably have 100 that are in the military. Okay, so what I'm saying to you tonight is that the military here, and I'm not saying we can't beat them. We probably could beat China if we were to use other weapons than the ground forces, because we can't beat them in a ground war. We've already seen that. So we're not going to be able to do that again. All right, and I think we should stay out of this, but I'm not going to go any further with that, but that's the way I see it tonight. All right, Ed Gainey along with Rich Fitzgerald have allocated $2.1 million for affordable housing downtown. All right, I'm going to do the Pittsburgh East tonight, downtown. For downtown. Now, have you noticed lately, and I have, and if you haven't, then obviously you don't observe like I do. I've noticed lately that the affordable housing hasn't been downtown. It's been everywhere else. North Shore, they're building a building, North Side, different places all across the city, but not downtown. So now they're talking about building affordable housing downtown. All right, there were a few buildings that were. They either got turned into hotels, or they got turned into expensive condominium apartments that you have to take out a loan or more to live in. Okay, so there we are with that, and that tonight is the way I see it. Next, the Biden administration says that new drilling is possible in the Gulf and in the inlet of Alaska. And the reason for this is because, as you know, our gas prices and fuel prices have gone beyond whatever. All right, you know, you have gas stations now for 1 day or 1 hour or 40 minutes giving away gas at $2 something, a gallon. But it's funded by, some committee or some group or something that funds it. But what I'm saying to you is, do you think this is proper? I think it is. I think we need to quit depending on Russia and Iran and whomever for gasoline and worry about ourselves. Okay, we need to worry about our own gasoline. It's bad enough now that Biden had to release 1 million gallons every week for I don't know how long from the strategic reserve, and now they're talking about if we go to war against China and Taiwan, there's going to be real problems in this country, because it's going to be a big mess. But I just wanted to let you know on that one, and that's the way I see it tonight. Next, travel problems. When will it end, and when will gas prices go down? That's not the bulk of it. The bulk of the problem is our lazy society. Nobody wants to go out and work, okay? And those that are working, they don't like their jobs, so they're miserable, and they're angry, and they're ignorant, and they're rude. They don't like their job. Okay, so now that all this unemployment went out before, which is run dry, and everything else that goes on around here, so that's fine. Then don't go get a job at all. All right, don't work anywhere, because that's what it seems like everybody wants to do. They want to quit, and then they don't want to work. They don't want to do any kind of work at all. Anything that you talk about work, and forget about it. All right, but travel problems, it has to do with staffing. As usual, they can't get anybody to work, can't get anybody to come into work. And now you have people getting stranded all across the board. But again, I blame you. I blame you for this. You, the consumer. You need not, then don't fly, drive. Okay? All right? Or go on a shorter trip. Like, you know what? I got criticized because I gave a great trip idea about going to Canton, Ohio to see the USFL championship game. Criticized. You know what? I would die to go to that if I had free tickets. I would die to go to that. If somebody gave me a hotel, I would die to go to that. See the Hall of Fame induction, see the Hall of Fame. The Steelers, a bunch of Steelers are in there. I heard they're going to build a wing for the Steelers. That's how bad this has gotten. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is, it's a great trip idea. And then here I get people telling me this and telling me that and telling me this. Cyndi Lauper this, because Cyndi Lauper was a singer. I don't care. You don't treat people like that. I don't care how old they are or how rich and sexy they are or whatever it is you think you need to say as far as that goes. But that's the way I see it tonight. When will it end? When will it end? Maybe never. I don't know. All right, next, the Jimmy Buffett concert. Jimmy Buffett's coming to town soon at the Starlight Amphitheater. Not one of my favorite places to watch a show. I think it's an overrated place. But I also believe that, who knows, maybe they will sell out. I don't know what Jimmy Buffett, I don't know if people are just, upset because of these prices, or they're crying because they want to cry. They're $200, $300, $400. I'm not paying that kind of money to go see Jimmy Buffett. No way. Okay? If you want to pay that much money, go see Jimmy Buffett. That's fine too. Okay? But, his concert's not sold out, so that tells you something. It's either one of them 5 things. Either he's retired, or he got smart with a stage guy. Something's holding him back. So that's what's going on there. That's what Jimmy Buffett, that's the way I see it. How do you find your budget? Okay? How do you work on a budget? How do you do that? I know how to do it. Some people do, some people don't. Some people can bake a cake, and others cannot. All right? Next. All right, let's see, we got all that done. Okay, next we're going to indulge in our topics tonight about tips. Do you go places and tips jars are everywhere? I went to an Arby's, and the Arby's, excuse me for a moment, I went through the drive-thru in an Arby's, and the Arby's drive-thru had a sign up that said, tips are welcome. Okay? I don't mind. I was in the service industry for a long time. I don't mind tips, and I don't mind giving tips to servers, bartenders. I don't drink, so that doesn't affect me. Servers, bartenders, bellhops at a hotel, something to that effect. But when I go to a Arby's and I see a sign like that, and then I go into the food court at the Grove City Outlet Mall, all right, and what do I find there? Tip jars at every business. Tip jars. They're everywhere. Okay? All right? Tip jars. So, let me ask you this tonight. What's on your mind tonight about that? Comment section is here. Do you tip? Do you not tip? Do you believe in tipping? Do you not want to tip? Do you tip somebody that's nice to you, that does a lot for you? Okay? All right? So, do you agree that tipping everything is perfect? I mean, everywhere you go, you get a tip. If a guy comes and fixes your toilet and you paid him $6,000, are you going to give him a tip? Okay? A few years back, I had to employ 2 men in a truck. Okay? To bring stuff up from Raleigh, North Carolina, where my aunt had just passed away. I was bringing stuff up here for my family, and here from Raleigh to Pittsburgh, okay? And this is what happened, all right? I gave him a $500 tip, okay? But the reason I did that was because we had to have furniture and different things that came from my aunt's house going to 3 different addresses. Okay? With that, all right, with the 3 different addresses, I didn't want them to think, well, you know what? So, there you are. Okay? But what I'm saying, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Susie. Thank you. Anyway, here we are. Okay? And I had to call 2 men in the truck, and I gave them a $500 tip because they were nice. They called me up. They said, Ralph, we're going to be there. Or Mr. Williams, we're going to be there. They were here. When I asked them to do something, they did it. Okay? 3 different addresses. It had to go to a storage, had to go to my apartment, and then had to go to my sister's place in Baldwin. Okay? Those were the places that they had to go. And they didn't say they weren't nasty with me. They appreciated it. Everything. So I gave them a $500 tip. They deserved it. Okay? Absolutely, I tip, but not everywhere. There are people who do that. I tip, but I don't tip everywhere. Okay? Like, let's say you work in a hotel and you're a desk clerk, and you do the extras, come out and help my wife load the wheelchair up in my Jeep, or help us load our luggage, or whatever you do. I'll give you a tip. Most of the time, I turn it down. Okay? The shuttle van, I'll give you a tip. From the airport to to my rental car lot, I gave him a tip. Fine, something like that, yes, but not setting up tables, like that, and then wanting to to tip somebody for it. That's fine too. But everywhere you go to Starbucks, you go to wherever, and somebody wants a tip. What have we come to now? That I have to go to McDonald's and give you a tip? Here's another good one. I ordered something online last week. Okay? When I ordered the thing that I ordered online, do you know it had something on there about tipping? What? Tipping. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay? Yeah. They wanted me to add a tip after I paid for the delivery fee plus the money. They want me to give them a tip. The tip window, or the drive-through window at Arby's. That I've never seen anything like that ever. Tips are welcome. What? And fast food places now, they're paying $12 to $15 an hour. Starting pay. I still haven't been able to find all these McDonald's employees that complained about $15 an hour. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can't find them.
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Oh, no.
Okay? So, tips. What's your thoughts on tips? All right? Comment section wide open tonight. What's your thoughts on tips? Okay? All right, next. Cooking out. Did you have one yesterday? If so, what did you cook? Okay, here, I like to converse with people because I enjoy hearing what they have to say, so I can use it for show stuff. Like, I was talking to a guy from Canada, and he was telling me about how this, that, and that goes on in Canada. It's great. It's always great to educate yourself about things that happen with other people. All right, well, here's something very interesting that he brought up. And Juana has checked in. Thank you, Juana. All right. But anyway, that's what's going on right now. And what's happening is that you have people cooking out. But are they cooking out what they want? Or are they cooking out to be economic? Okay? This guy I met from Canada, that was staying in the same hotel I was. I met him this morning down at yesterday morning at the breakfast bar, and he said, people are not buying steaks, they're not cooking bison, they're not cooking, those kind of things. It's hamburgers and hot dogs this year. And you know what? They're not buying fresh ground meat either. They're using the frozen ones. So all those companies are making money. Okay? All right? I just bought an order before I went on my trip for at the Omaha Steak Store. And I didn't even know they had two retail stores. They one on the waterfront and one out in Robinson. And I didn't know this at the Settlers Ridge Mall. Okay? So here we are, all right, with this situation. And that is that do you, and I mean do you cook out? Do you, when you make burgers and hot dogs? Oh, okay. I don't make that stuff because I'm a vegan. Okay, I don't have a problem with you being a vegan, but I have a problem when you're going to sit there and criticize what I cook in a cookout. Okay, that's where I have a problem. So if you're a vegan, you might not eat steak or nothing. You just might have some chicken, maybe some turkey or turkey burgers, something that's filling for a person who's a vegan. And I don't have nothing against vegans. You know, you guys all do what you want. You want to be a vegan, be a vegan. You don't, you don't. It's that simple. But as I mentioned before, what did you cook for Thanksgiving? Or I'm sorry, for 4th of July? Did you have hamburgers and hot dogs? Did you have steaks? Did you have corn? Did you have baked beans? Did you eat potato salad? Did you eat macaroni and cheese? What did you prepare? Did you prepare anything for the 4th of July? And also tipping. All right, do you tip everybody you see that has a tip jar? Do you tip everybody? Do you tip the guy at the grocery store who loads your groceries into your car? Do you tip? Do you tip is what I want to know. And who do you tip? But I saw the tip jar at the Charlie Steak Place at the Grove City Mall, Outlet Mall. And then when I went to pay with the credit card, it had a little thing on there about a tip. Okay? This is what we've come down to now. Everybody wants a tip. All right? I'm not giving everybody a tip for everything. All right? You know, you go to the barber shop and you get your hair cut. I give a tip, but there are people who don't. Okay? All right, Juan is checking in. She says, I don't tip everyone, but I definitely tip when I go to eat at a restaurant. Yes, that is common practice. At the bar, at the bartender, if you drink. Okay? Or, like I said, you tip the bellman. Like I was a bellman in a hotel, and they got tips a lot. Carry your luggage up to your room, or hold up on a luggage rack or whatever. All right, or one of them bell carts. Okay, or whatever they call them now. Who knows? All right. I know in Indian descent they call them trolleys. I used to work in an apartment building, and we had some people from India there, or Pakistan, or wherever, and they would come up to me at the front desk and go, I want the trolley. And I would say, sure, go right out the door, down the street. It's called Steel Plaza Station. No, I want the trolley. Well, you asked me where the trolley is, so I told you where to go for the trolley. Well, here, they wanted the bell cart, because we had two of them in the building, two bell carts, okay? And they wanted to use bell cart. I said, oh, you want a cart? Yeah. You push. I said, yeah, that's fine. I got you. All right. Okay. So those people, I would get tipped for that. All right. And there's been times I've done work in the hospitality business that perhaps, I've gotten fired because somebody didn't tip me and I got angry. All right. I've worked in pizza shops where somebody walked in and said, oh, I didn't get a tip today from so-and-so, so guess what? Their pizza's going to come in an hour instead of 20 minutes. Okay? I've even seen people spit on people's pizza who don't tip. Okay? I've witnessed that in my time. All right? It's not funny, but I'm just saying there are people out there that are real malicious and all they want is a tip. All right, they don't want to do anything else but that. And also, what did you cook yesterday for Independence Day? Did you eat out? Because I'm going to say this, up in Grove City now, I don't know about anywhere else. Up in Grove City yesterday, My wife and I, after we got done going swimming, decided we're going to sit out right out in the front, and then they have a nice little waterfall with some fish in it, and we were sitting there watching the waterfall. And I looked around. There's an Eaton Park there, there's Permanis, there's all. I'm looking around, and there was really not that big of a crowd in these restaurants. So did you cook? Did you go to you can go to Family Dollar for $5, get yourself a nice little grill. Okay, or even a bigger grill for $5 at Family Dollar. Or someone tell me, I haven't been in a Family Dollar for a while, so someone tell me, do they still have those kind of grills at Family Dollar? You can go there for $5, get your grill. You can go get a little bit of ground meat or some frozen burger patties, throw them on a grill. Hot dogs. You can get hot dogs for about, I don't know, $1.50. Bar S isn't bad hot dogs. But no, we have people out here that have to have Armour hot dogs, that have to have Oscar Mayer, that have to have Ballpark, okay? You know what? As long as the hot dog is big and huge and it's nice and it fits in the bun and it's made right, that's my kind of a hot dog, all right? All right, this has been The Way I See It tonight. Coming up at 8:30 in about an hour and a half, or I'm sorry, not an hour and a half, wow. In about 30 minutes is Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams, and I will be back live here on YouTube and Facebook coming up this week. Don't forget tomorrow night, not Thursday, tomorrow night, Blog Talk Radio 347-205-9631 to listen to the show. Wrestle Talk, we have a lot to talk about. NXT's Great American Bash is tonight. WWE had Money in the Bank on Saturday. I'll tell you about that, AEW news, and a whole lot more tomorrow with myself, Mark Mancini, Smoking Jim Frazier, Wrestle Talk on Blog Talk Radio National. Show, we usually do it on Thursday, but tomorrow we're doing it on Wednesday because Mark has a prior obligation on Thursday, so he cannot be on the show. And it's possible Wednesday night. I'm not sure yet. It's been sort of up and down and here and there. Who knows? If I get the call or the text, I may be on with Peter Blake later on at 10:30 for Turnbuckle Talk down in Tampa, Florida. All right. And also don't forget Thursday night at 6 p.m. PCTV Channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon Cable. And that is Sports Corner. We're live call-in show 412-231-2288 is the number to call. Don't forget Thursday night we have a lot to talk about in sports and much, much more. Myself, Smoking Jim Frazier. And don't forget the 4 o'clock taping between 4 and 4:15 on Thursday of The Way I See It. We're live on Facebook page if you're interested in that as well. And Saturday, 5 p.m. Sports Corner on with me and Smoking Jim Frazier on PCTV Channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon Cable. Also, don't forget next week we go back to our normal time, Monday night, The Way I See It. Tuesday night, we also have my Sports Corner show here live on YouTube and Facebook. All right, it's been a great night. I want to thank everybody for watching. Have a good night and be safe.